What's good, YouTube? Young Lincoln here, man. So we really want to go into detail with the Anunnakis. Now, this is going to be a very, very deep video. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I'm trying to pull out as much information as I can, and because I found this really interesting, man. I've seen a lot of videos on it about it. I did a lot of research on it, and so we're gonna dive into it. As you can see, man, I got my notes. Got my notes right here, man, and also too got the Holy Bible to actually reference what I'm going to say about this. So pretty much the Anunnakis, man, they were the civilization that was kind of known, I guess, immortal gods. They were actually watchers for God's creation at the time to watch over us before the flood and everything. And so they was operating off a planet called Nibiru, okay, or aka Planet X. Some people say Nibiru it's not a planet, it's just like a mothership or a spiritual dwelling place for them at the time. And so what there was is Nibiru, they actually orbit around the Earth every 3,600 years. Every 3,600 years they orbit the Earth. Actually in 2011 and I think in 2014, it was actually scientists actually kind of discovered two of them, because as they went through the Orion Belt. But getting back to Anunnaki's presence, so their whole purpose was, you know, they were really they were very highly advanced people, man. I mean, they were really known for artifacts of information and technology, things that we have on today, man, like the computers. They was known for building aircraft. It was known for building actually the Giza pyramids, man. So it was really interesting, man. Now Enki was the chief scientist at the time, okay? Now during the time in space, and this is all before actually human beings, we actually encoded with our DNA. For all this time, they was all in space. They was all, you know, kind of Mars and Jupiter, and it came out an all breakout war between the Tarnished people. And the Tarnished, man, there were actually, some people said that they were the so-called Caucasian, but they really wasn't. They were just the people at the time, man. They was just trying to actually conquer one of Enki's people, the Anunnakis. Now, which has really got kind of messed up, man. They really influenced them to actually come down onto Earth so they can protect their homeland from ultraviolet rays. And ultraviolet rays, if you can do the research too, it's just magnetic rays. Actually, that's just very cancerous from the sun, and it's the sunlight beams that are here to destroy melanated people and destroy and give you like kind of skin cancer. So it was kind of destroying their homeland, so they had to build a dome or some type of protection shield from the Earth's crust, whatever. So they went down to Earth and everything, and they actually breeded with the human beings on Earth at that time. And so therefore that's why, you know, parts of their DNA was attracted to them. And so that's why you see characters, or you hear about characters in the Bible like Adam, Eve, or Cain, or Methuselah, those type of people that was living for like 700, 800, 900 years and older, man. And this happened over like 450,000 years ago, technically. So I guess God was kind of pretty upset about that. A lot of things wasn't going right. You know, they were supposed to really just known for just building civilization and not really have to sin. So this would put a lot of pressure on God for him to create Adam and Eve and actually, you know, destroy the earth with the flood. And this is when you had Noah, okay? And then you had Noah was the righteous man on earth at the time. So he actually led one tribe in that particular time, and to actually fulfill his agenda. That's when, you know, Noah he got like what, 2 pairs of animals of each of every kind. And actually one of the Nephilims, aka the Anunnakis, the giants, they actually foreshadowed and actually helped build the ark. Now if you watch and pay attention to that movie Noah, you will see like these big giants or these sort of type of transformers. They would help protecting Noah at the time, man, and actually building the ark. So they were sacrificing their lives. So I believe most of that has happened. Most of that is true during the time. So in Egypt. So actually he actually built that, man. And then that's when Noah had his sons Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and they began to have sons of other daughters from Anunnakis and began to procreate. And it makes sense too, because they actually found their fossils, man, that was like 7 feet, 8 feet tall. Like Goliath, man, was like 8, 9 feet tall. They said Saul was probably like 7 feet tall. So this is when like humanity, I feel like, you know, really took its form. That's when before we started having other civilizations at the time. But it was really cool, man. Now, actually, too, they go by of Homo sapiens. Now, Homo sapiens are actually intelligent beings as well. They was known for astrology. They was known for astronomy as well. And they used to divide in time through the units of 6. That's why we have 24-hour days. We have 60 minutes in an hour. You know what I'm saying? 360 degrees. And also, too, it's pretty much technically 360 days in a year, to be honest with you, because if you think about it, is we got 4 seasons. We got spring, summer, fall, and winter. Okay, and each of those 4 seasons has about 90 days in them. Okay, so you do 90 times 4, right, which is 360. So it orbits on 360 days. And so some people said we added 5 days, but we don't really go by this Orlandian calendar. But you know, getting back into this, also too, I think I wrote something too, man. Around 4,000 to 3,000 BC. So when they came to Earth, before they started procreating, whatever came from heaven, they wanted gold. Like I said, they wanted gold to protect their people, and they want to create a civilization of workers. So I believe this is kind of explain one of the reasons why the ancient pyramids were built. 3 Giza pyramids were built according to when they traveled through the Orion Belt. And Orion Belt is the AKA twin sisters, the twin stars that was aligned. Bright stars actually, so they like about 817 light years away. Each light year is about 6 trillion miles away. So you can look it up and do the research, but they was really like conquering space. They really was like the first person here. And so each day when God created the heavens and the earth, it took him about maybe 1,000,000 years, because he don't operate on the same time we operate, you know. So when you pray different things like over things, or you want to get this, sometimes you have to wait 2 months or 3 months or maybe a year or 2 years, you know what I'm saying? And we think in our human flesh, in this body, in this 3-dimensional realm that we're living in today, we think that's a long time, but for God it could be 3 seconds, you know what I'm saying, or 30 minutes. So I'm probably gonna break down time as in my other videos, my previous videos, but this is really cool. I mean, they was over here for 450,000 years, man. I mean, melanated people was the first ones over here, man. I mean, we was really created from the sun, was only created 432 terahertz. And as you can see, as white people, like white, they reflect the sun. So they're not natural. That's why, you know, why most of them always gotta have some type of, most of them get like really skin cancer, or they can't be out in the sun for a long period of time, at least without some type of sunscreen, some type of medicine. It's we are kind of naturally involved in it. So there goes to show you that black people was the first people here in history. I mean, since the beginning, you know. So like, you know, media like Hollywood, they tainted our image, saying that, you know, Cleopatra or Egyptians or our people was white, you know, Jesus was white, you know, all that stuff, so they can really taint our image, and also too, they can spiritually and psychologically enslave us. So we have to really get out of that mindset as black people to really understand that, you know what I'm saying, we carry the weight here. You know, we not only that we built this country on our backs, but we were the foundation of everything. Everything came from us. We were the root. So, but actually, as the Anunnakis too, as it was the Earth's formation, they gave a collision between the 2 planets of Nibiru, known as Marduk, and the other Tiamat is known as Mars and Jupiter. And so, it'll be really fascinating, man. They say usually, I think it was in Mexico not too long ago, when some people, the Nibiru was actually orbiting around the Earth. So this is some true stuff. And also too, I like to read in the book of Genesis. If you give me 1 second. Genesis chapter 6 verse 4. I'm gonna read it real quick. It says, the Nephilims were on the earth in those days, aka Anunnakis, another word from them, and also afterward, when the sons of God went to the daughters of men and had children by them. They were the heroes of old, men of renown. And so this probably explains why, you know, most people, you know, have psychic abilities during that time. There was a lot of astrologers and sorcerers, like such as Simon, when he tried to buy the Holy Spirit off of Peter. And so many of the Anunnakis' decisions began to procreate because they fell from heaven. That's what it means. That's what the origin name came from. I think this really disrupted, and this really made God to actually create Jesus from the Virgin Mary. So it's all like really all kinds of theories on this though, but I just really find this interesting. Some people actually found some type of artifacts on this, man, like a 7 feet tall type skeleton, man. So this is real deep though, man. I mean, they was really highly advanced, intelligent people, man. So like the Homo sapiens and all this stuff, it was like 13.7 billion years according to our solar system. So, and the sun is only 4.54 billion years. So this goes to show you that it was another civilization before Adam and Eve. So I think, like I said, just a little education, a lot of history. I think a lot of black people should really know this. And then we have such a rich history, man. You know, we're not really going to learn this in the public school. And that's why I encourage, especially if I have children of my own, to homeschool them on African history, science, astrology, man, how this stuff works and how we were interconnected to the universe. And that's why it's so important to we got to activate our crown chakra, which is crown chakra means we are the divine spirit. And you can get that, you can activate that through meditation, eating alkaline foods, drinking a lot of water with lemon or lime. Also too, meditating, stretching, so you can stretch all your negative energy outside of you, man. Practicing yoga, or you know what I'm saying, you can do any type of arts, eat a lot of fruits, vegetables, you know, different things like that. Be in kind of level and balance on this plane, because we were in the spiritual dwelling place at that time. And so God gave us this and Eden. And so this is real key though. You know, so it's all about leveling out and activating all your chakras, man, and not just, because what I know in this earth, man, white man knows this, and a lot of people know this too, that especially that's what Hollywood offer us, man. Just want us to operate off our lower chakra, our seventh chakra, which is, I'm sorry, our first chakra, which is our root chakra, which is our guilt, shame, and most of our, you know, our lust. You know, when you see a naked woman, when you see a woman with her butt, you know what I'm saying, you think she look real good and stuff, but you don't have the time to really get to know her. You don't have no type of interest to see what type of family background she has, or what type of curses she's up under. You know what I'm saying, you just worrying about that instant gratification, you know, that lustful act. So, and we just been bombarded with this, with the media, with the Jewish media, like sex, all in us, and to the point that we don't even understand ourselves. You know, we just operate on this lower plane. So, as starseeds, as people that's here to revoke this shit, man, and just become economically empowered and to overthrow our government, we have to understand this, man. So we have to get our spirits right. We have to kind of stay away from a lot of meats, man, because most of it's processing, has a lot of foods in it. Because back then, in our history, we was already, even though we melanated, but we was already spiritually dwelling with God. Till then, once you continue to operate on your lower self, bad things start to happen. So it's all about rising that frequency level, and that's, for me, learning and reading about the Anunnakis is so true, man. They was just so spiritual to the point that they wanted things from their own, and they was operating off their lower self at the time. So that's why, you know, they started breeding with other women and earthly women, and they kind of lost their touch a little bit. But this is some interesting history. You guys can Google this, man. You can research this. I'm not gonna make this video too long. I did best of my ability to explain about this. But this is really interesting though, man. You know, Planet Nibiru, Planet X was the mothership, and yeah, they colonized the Earth over 400,000 years ago. It's real deep though. But it's you guys continue to subscribe and like and comment. Thank you for your time. I'm out. Deuces.